Hello, this is Joe Applebaum. I am the CEO of Evie AI, and today I have the fortune of getting interviewed by my friend Sanjay. Sanjay is an amazing person, and he had me on the AI Space podcast. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the AI Space podcast, but it's an incredible podcast that allows you to be able to learn about artificial intelligence. And so, if you're interested in learning more about the AI Space podcast, I highly recommend that you go and check it out because it's a great podcast, and and I'm excited about being live talking about it. And it was a great episode that we did together. He has tons of questions to ask me, especially for the audience that's interested in learning more about it, about the podcast, and kind of like how the intricacies of it. A lot of people had questions about it. And so he's going to kind of join me here and have a conversation with me specifically about the AI Space podcast and how it works and, you know, um, and all that jazz. So I'm really excited about being interviewed here and having this conversation. So if you're watching this live, let me know where in the world you're dialing in from. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know that you're watching this live so that Sanjay can see that. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you. Um, I, I really enjoy connecting with other people and building real relationships. And Sanjay's here. Sanjay, thank you for joining me here today.
Thanks. I had a little bit of technical issues. You think that after this post-COVID world, all the cameras would work and video conferencing would be so easy, but there's no magic button, right? We still deal with
there's
technology.
there's no magic button, and we definitely still deal with technology. But you know what? We are live on LinkedIn right now. We're also live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter, and we're streaming. And so, if you guys are watching this on my profile, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're dialing in from. I'd love to hear from you guys. This is going to be a great podcast. It's for about the AI Space podcast, a Q&A with Joe and Sanjay. By the way, can you tell everyone briefly what is the AI Space podcast? How does it work? And why are we doing this Q&A?
Yeah, so just to give you a little background, I have 30 plus years in consulting and professional services. I hit 50 somewhere after that. I said, hey, I need to start building my own business because I don't want to go through these corporal boom and bust cycles, right? I want to put the control in my hands. I started building my own AI consultancy and go to market strategy and execution. When I was starting out, I was like, man, where are the leads? You know, and when you work with big companies, you know the leads are there, the sales are there. And I met this guy named Joe Applebaum in early 2024, who started teaching me about LinkedIn and in terms of strategy, building up my brand, being consistent, etc. So I started building out the consultancy. And then, and Joe, you know this, and we'll talk about it in the episode. Being an entrepreneur is pretty hard, right? And then someone approached me about a podcast, and this was like November of last year. I said, "What can I do? Hey, why don't I just give back and help others that are trying to figure out this AI space? Let me invite people that are actually building in the AI space, building real solutions, building out their companies, and sharing those insights so others can grow and scale their business." So that's kind of the the crux of it.
A lot of people have been listening to it. The reason I know that is because people have not just reached out to me; they become clients as a result of the podcast. And not every podcast that I do that people actually go and become clients. What are you doing to maintain your quality and making sure that people are actually listening to it?
Well, I think the first thing is when we get into your stories, getting interesting people like you on the show that have amazing stories. I mean, we're going to talk about you went you were going to be a rabbi, and you're like, hey, how do I make money? And now you're an AI entrepreneur slash guru, right? So y'all make it people like you make it easy for me because people want to hear real stories because there's a lot of AI that I think there's an article. There's a lot of AI slop out there, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
people
true.
want to, and you talked about this on the episode about being authentic,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's the key is it's not about me, it's about having people like you. But I'm curious, I want to know how people like you are successful so that I can be successful and other people can be successful too, right?
I love that. And I want to give a shout out to Lutz, to Nancy, to Steve, to Tom who are watching this right now. If you guys are watching this live, hit that repost button. So this way, other people can join us as well. The more people repost this episode while we're live, the more people are going to see it and the more value people are going to get. So,
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to Lutz and Nancy. Lutz, I met through this AI generalist program, this 6 8 month program. I met him. He's from Germany, and we went met in Bengaluru. Nancy, I met at an AI event, and actually they're on the last episode with Atlas Cloud, and she's one of the people that signed up for Evi AI. So just wanted to give a shout out to those people
uh,
too.
oh, thank you. And thank you all for watching this. And if you're watching the replay, let us know that you're watching the replay and let us know that you enjoyed this conversation. Let us know what your takeaways are. And let us know also where you're dialing in from if you're watching the replay. Just write replay and the city you're dialing in from. So without further ado, let's get started with the conversation. What questions did you have about the AI Space podcast episode that we did?
And while we're waiting for that, maybe you can give a quick rehash. I mean, you were going to be a rabbi. Your mom, you said, "How do I make money?" Your mom told you to go to the library. You started an internet business, building websites, right? And then you pivoted into AI. So, talk maybe while we're waiting for the question, talk a little bit about your story around how Evi AI started in Ajax Union, etc.
Okay, so Evi AI, I actually started writing a book now about prompting. And the first thing I started when I started writing the book, the beginning of the book, the first chapter I write as I finish a 3 mile run on a beach in Mexico, I stopped and suddenly turned to my phone and I opened ChatGPT and I started a new conversation with AI. And my brain was going a mile a minute with the possibility, and I had to brainstorm. I had so many ideas floating in my mind that I wanted to talk to somebody, but it was super early in the morning and I didn't want to wake anybody up. There was something special about talking to AI that won't judge me if I'm super honest and vulnerable, where I can literally say anything. And why was I in Mexico on the beach? I was celebrating it was very meaningful to me, something that I've been trying to do for years, but I was suffering through it, which was the only thing that's worse than death. I was getting divorced. And the process was brutal, especially because I didn't have amazing technology to help me through it. ChatGPT was new in 2023, and it came out after we settled our divorce late in 2022. It was like the universe said, "Okay, Joe, Joe settled his divorce. Let's celebrate and launch ChatGPT." It's like ChatGPT was a celebration that I settled my divorce. But anyway, so I actually chatted with ChatGPT in order for me to come up with the idea for EVAI, just FYI, just so you know. But, rewind a bunch of years, I'm building websites for people. You know the famous saying, if you build it, they will come? I
Yeah, we
built it.
know it, but
I
it's not
built it.
true.
I built it. Nobody came. I built it. Literally, nobody came. And so I had to learn how to be able to get people to come to things. I mean, we even have a dozen people watching this right now or so, let's just say, and there'll be maybe 1,000 people that will watch the replay. I mean, if you guys want the copy of the episode, put your comments in below. Say, I want a copy of the episode. We'll make sure to send you one. Um, but for me, it's like going from being a freelancer, because that's what I was, building websites for people. You're a freelancer to being an entrepreneur. That's a journey that you take. I thought I was an entrepreneur. I had 7 side hustles. I was doing construction. I was building sukkahs. My son just built his first sukkah and got paid $350. Again, I'll say this again. My son, who's currently 14 years old, built a sukkah, which is a little hut outside someone's house, where he just screwed in a bunch of beams, and he got paid $350. Why? Because I taught him how to build a website with AI. I taught him how to make a flyer with AI, and I told him how to promote it with AI, and he did that all and made $350 for working for 3 hours building a hut behind somebody's house, which is something that I was doing when I was a teenager as well. But I didn't have AI to build a website. I had to hand code a website. I had to manually use Photoshop to create a flyer. I didn't just go to Gemini and said, make me a flyer. You know what I mean? I didn't just go to Evi AI and said, make me a flyer. I didn't just use technology that can just design things for you. So, I learned how to build websites by hand, and then eventually, if you build it, they will come. I ended up doing SEO. SEO ended up teaching me about reoccurring revenue. I learned how to build a business. I built one of the fastest growing companies in America. And then when COVID came, I lost 75% of my reoccurring revenue, and I realized I really had to change something. And the agency business wasn't so profitable anyway. And so that's kind of like where kind of everything changed for me when I realized I can have AI on my side as a sidekick. You know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. If you watch the video before this video, I went live for an hour. Okay, let's just say it's about an hour. I went live for about an hour right before we went live here, just to kind of warm up the audience. So I went live for an hour. Do you know what I did during that live?
What'd you do?
I spoke to AI. Like literally, just like instead of you sitting next to me, people watched me talk to. I spoke to a few AIs. I first spoke to Meta AI, which was not a great experience because, although it had a good conversation with me, it was regurgitating what I was saying, and I gave it information. I gave it one of my books that I wrote a while ago, and it completely ignored it and said I didn't give it the book, and it argued with me. And so I said, okay, goodbye to you. And then I went to ChatGPT, but it was slow. ChatGPT actually knew what I was talking about, but it was slow. And then I went to Grok, and everybody saw the transition from Meta to ChatGPT, which was very, very smart, but it was slow, to Grok, which was incredibly intelligent and incredibly authentic. And I pay $30 a month for Grok. I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT. I was paying 200 bucks a month for ChatGPT, but I downgraded because it wasn't worth it. The $20 a month version is enough. And I'm not paying anything for Meta because I don't think they offer even a paid plan. But I would pay for it. If they had something advanced, I would pay for it. I basically pay for everything. People that pay attention. Have you ever heard that saying before, Sanjay?
Oh yeah. Because, well, there's no skin in the game if there's no money involved.
So somebody asked me a question over here in the chat. They said, Joe, what made you so good at doing podcasts? I heard the podcast, the AI Space podcast. It was mind blowing. How did you get so good at doing podcasts? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I get on 100 podcasts a year, every single year. I'm on this website called podcastguests.com. Have you heard of it? Podcastguests.com. Have you heard of it, Sanjay?
I've heard of it, but I haven't really looked into it. I need to now. I need to
Yeah,
look into
if you go to podcastguest.com, you can get guests for your podcast, and you can also get hosted on people's
it.
podcasts. It's $29 a month. If you use the keyword mojo, the owner of the company gave me a keyword mojo that I could use to save you 20% off for the feature directory. So that'll save you money if you want to get the feature. It's 29 bucks, not a big deal, but whatever, you'll save 20%. You'll save $6 a month or whatever. I do recommend going premium. And then, by the way, if you guys were going to be on a podcast, what would you want to talk about? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching the live or the replay, comment below. Let me know what you would want to get interviewed about. But the idea is getting on a lot of podcasts makes you good at being on podcasts. You know what I mean, Sanjay?
Trust me,
Not
trust me, because on my first episode, the people that reached out to me, they didn't give me any directions. I put up the camera, I'm like looking in the wrong direction, everything else, but luckily, the early guests really carried me, and then slowly, like, people like I think my son was telling me his friends said, "Yeah, your dad's improved quite a bit since the first episode." Right? It's just practice. It's repetitions at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And the more you do it, the better you get at anything. The more you run, the better you are at running. The more you write, the better you are at writing. I'm writing a book now. It feels like easy. The first book that I wrote was very, very difficult for me. It took me 18 months to speak to a coach before I even wrote one book, before I even wrote one chapter. I spoke for 18 months to a coach. I paid this coach to meet me weekly for 18 months. And finally, I was able to push a book out of me in like 30 days. And now in the next month, I'm going to get a book out of my system, and then I'm going to edit it with AI. I'm going to manually write the whole thing with my hands. I'm not even going to talk to it. I do talk to it in between about what I wrote about, and it kind of shapes my conversation with what I'm going to be typing. But I feel like it's cathartic to write 2,000 words a day. So I wake up early. Sometimes I'll jump out of bed at like 5 a.m. and then I'll write. This morning I wrote 4,000 words. So if you write 2,000 words a day for a week, you'll have a lot of words. You know what I mean? For 10 days, you'll have 20,000 words. You can create a 100,000 word book in no time if you're writing 4,000 words a day. So that's the idea. I think it was Stephen King. He wrote a book called On Writing. Have you ever heard the book On Writing?
I heard about it when you told me about it on the podcast.
Yeah, and he says if you don't write 2,000 words a day, you're not a writer. And so if you want to be a writer, write 2,000 words a day and see what happens. If you're not selling, you're not a salesperson. You become a salesperson when you start selling. So you have to sell
and
every day.
and closing.
And you become a closer when there are different types of salespeople. There are openers and there are closers. I booked a meeting with a cold prospect on the call, on the last podcast that I just, on the last live that I just did right before this one. Go watch it. I booked a meeting with someone who never spoke to me in my life. And I tried to book the meeting and he's like, pitch me first. Pitch me. Think about that. He's like, give me your elevator pitch me, and then I'll decide if you deserve to get on the phone with me. And I pitched him and I conversed with him and I had to get off the phone because otherwise I would still be talking to him because I had to get on with you. And I booked a meeting for 1:30 today. And at 1:30 today, I'm either going to close him or not close him, but it doesn't really make a difference because I built a new friend. Do you understand what I did? I built a new friend, a friend from a stranger to a friend, and I used AI to do it. I'll say this again. I used AI to do. Somebody said, "How'd you use AI to do it?" Have you ever heard of HeyGen?
I've used it actually.
I pay $29 a month for HeyGen. Do you know why I pay $29 a month for HeyGen?
Why do you, Joe?
The reason I pay $29 a month is because I have a clone of myself inside HeyGen, and I have an assistant that goes in there and makes videos of me every single day,
Right.
and then he publishes those videos on social media, and then people see those videos, and then they want to book a meeting with me.
I know I think we're booked till 9:30, so I want to make sure we get into AVA. But one thing you said about the book, I remember somebody reached out to me. It was eye opening for me. It's like, before you write the book, pre-sell it. So I still haven't posted. I'm going to write my AI book. I'm actually going to write an AI book in 20, what are we in
20,
2026, right? I just need to put the first post. I'm going to write an AI book. I haven't even done that yet because I've been dealing with some podcast stuff. But maybe talk about the pre-selling aspect you talked about on the podcast.
100%. I mean, I wanted I when I launched Evi AI, I first put up a poll on LinkedIn and I said, do you want to get an AI assistant? And if you do, vote on this poll. And 500 people voted on the poll. I sent a Stripe link to those 500 people and 100 paid for it. Okay, I didn't even have a software or anything. And so recently somebody walked over to me and said, "Joe, I know that you did this. I know that you built an AI and blah blah blah." But a client walked over to me and he said he wanted to launch a course. He wanted to launch a book, book, a course, similar thing, right? It's a piece of knowledge, an IP. And a client walked over to me and said I was having a conversation. He wants to launch a course, and he told me it's impossible to launch a course without funding. And I laughed and I said, it's not true because I not only launched a course without funding, I also launched a software without funding. And I said, I simply used a LinkedIn poll with 100 people paid. And that's it. He snarked and said, yeah, that works with software, but it's not going to work with a course, not in 2025. Nobody wants courses anymore with AI giving you all the information from the world for free. I said, wrong, wrong. Not true. People want courses. There are billions are generated every single year from education, and AI doesn't have all the info because people don't know how to prompt. They don't know how to prompt AI. That's where the gold is. And he said, yeah, courses do sell, but really, do they sell really? He challenged me to sell 100 units of a course via a LinkedIn poll and then use AI to create the course and sell it. I said, don't challenge me to do something that I know works because I'm going to prove you wrong. Over the past 10 years, I've been teaching LinkedIn, and I've have over like 100 hacks. And so one morning I said, I got 99 hacks, but a pitch ain't one of them. Yo, I got 99 hacks, but a pitch ain't one of them. And so I decided to make a 99 hacks course. 171 people voted. I sent the 150 people that said yes, they wanted a link to buy the course, and 100 people bought it. And I didn't even have the course. And that was in January. So September 1st this year, we launched a course. It's called 99hacks.club. 99hacks.club. So if you go to 99hacks.club, you can see 2 example videos. And you'll see I created the videos with HeyGen. So go watch them. And we have an ad running right now that costs us $2 for every person that comes in. And a percentage of those people buy the course. And they pay $1,000 for the course. We're offering it for $99 for anyone that watches this. And just write 99 in the chat if you want the link. And I'll give you the $99 deal. But people pay $1,000 for that course, and they get value from it because it's worth $1,000. Imagine getting 99 videos, each under a minute, that give you a hack that you've never thought of with a money back guarantee. Wouldn't you pay $1,000 for it? You would. Everybody would. If you knew that you had a money back guarantee and you got tons of value. So that's the idea. The idea is you can do this by pre-selling it. And so I literally have a clone of myself in HeyGen. It cost me $29 a month, plus a person in the Philippines. So it did cost thousands of dollars to have somebody work for 6 months to produce this, but it's produced, and I didn't have to even say one word. You're muted. You're muted, Sanjay.
Sorry, I do want to give a shout out to Tom Wells, who did respond to your question earlier and said business clarity. It seems to be what he would be interested in. Then also Steve, who's one of my Steve Deeb, who's based in Dallas here, and we met in person. He's asked about vibe coding. Maybe I'll start with it. One thing, Steve, the best way to start is maybe look at a landing page, a hero page for your company. You can go into ChatGPT or Claude or any of the LLMs, or even go to Evi AI, and we need to get an Evi AI, Joe, and ask, how do you build out a hero page? What's the outline, right? And it actually can give you some of the structure and design before you get into some of these vibe coding. But even in the vibe
I
coding,
would,
they have some constructs. But you jump in, go ahead. You
yeah, I
want
would
to jump?
take, Sanjay, I would take a step before that. There's a step before that a lot of people don't do. It's called an SRS. Have you heard of an SRS?
No, I have not.
Okay, so SRS stands for software. Write this down, guys. Write SRS in the chat. Software specification, software requirement specification, SRS. So you can go into chat, you can go into Evi AI, and you can say, write me a detailed SRS for a hero page, and then just tell it what you want on the hero page for my 99 hacks course that gives engaged LinkedIn users one hack every minute, blah blah blah, and just say I want it to be one landing page with JavaScript and CSS. That's just one page that I can render on my computer without hosting it. I just want to be able to see it on my computer, and I want it to have everything in it, that all the bells and whistles, and I want it to look really good and really modern. Make me an SRS. An SRS is basically the a very specific way of giving requirements to a developer to develop something for you. And so the AI knows how to make an SRS. Every AI can make you an SRS in seconds. So can ChatGPT, so can Gemini, so can anybody. And a developer would charge you $5,000 to create an SRS, even for a landing page, because it's a lot of work. But AI will spit it out in 10 seconds. It'll give you an SRS. Now you take that SRS and go to Claude, because Claude is the best. Claude Code.
And most of the vibe coding things are linked to Claude, anyways.
Exactly. Use Claude or Gemini. Those two are great, but don't use Gemini Flash. Use Gemini Pro. Gemini Flash will give you crap. Use Gemini Pro. It's gonna take longer, but it'll be good. And then you get a landing page in about 30 seconds. You'll have a landing page done that's beautiful, but it'll be in line with best practices because you actually took the time to create an SRS first. That's the idea. That's the trick right there. Same thing if you're creating a Chrome extension or creating anything else. You want to first create a specifications before that.
No, that's very important because Lutz and I know when we're building out his audio explorer, that a lot of times these vibe coding things, they can act like really smart technical people or sometimes a new intern, right? So the question is, are you going to get the intern or this really smart expert, right? And I think that SRS is going to really give that guidelines because you can go haywire if you don't have some structure for some of this vibe coding stuff. Because sometimes you'll get everything right and ask you to change one thing, it breaks everything else and it fixes the thing you asked for, right? So that's the challenge with some of these tools.
Yeah, it's actually a huge challenge because, until it doesn't have it doesn't know all the code, it doesn't have the context of all the code, and so it'll fix one thing that have a dependency somewhere else, and now everything breaks. But Claude Code solves that. And if you're using, let's say, Lovable or something, or Bolt or whatever, it kind of has context over the whole code. But I would say, like you said, that's good advice to get started with a landing page. I actually have a landing page prompt. If you send me a DM on LinkedIn, send me your vibe code landing page prompt. I'll send you my private vibe coding landing page prompt. It's super, super intense and it's super long. I can only send it to you if you send me a DM on LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to send it to you. Do you see the way I created a lead magnet right there for myself?
Yeah. And that's an important thing as you're building entrepreneurs. We always think about outbound. And one thing I learned is how do you become more of a market magnet, a lead magnet, where you attract people to come to you, right? It's kind of like the hooks that are, you know, to to bring the right people, right?
Yeah. And Nancy said 99. She wants the 99 LinkedIn hacks. We went ahead and Tammy went ahead and put in the chat a reply to your message, sending you a link to Stripe with the coupon code. So go ahead and grab that. And if anybody wants it as well, go see the reply that Tammy put in under Nancy's post. It looks like Lisa said, Joe, I love this. You always make AI practical for the human. One of the things that we added this week to Evi AI is image generation. You may have not tried it yet, Sanjay, but have
You
you
showed
heard?
me, maybe I don't know if you can pop it. We got a couple minutes. You can pop an example for someone so they can see what.
Yeah. So if you go to my Substack, go to Joe. joeapplebaum.substack.com. I want you guys to all go there now, real quick. If you get a chance, open up a new tab. Go to joeapplebaum.substack.com. I'll post it in the comments of the. I'll have Tammy go ahead and post it as a comment. Tammy went ahead and just posted it as a comment in the AI in the on the bottom there. If you go there and look at my most recent post, it says how to choose your ideal target market, a 10-step framework. First of all, that's an incredible article. So if you go watch it, go ahead and like it. That's number one. Number two is look at the images. Look at the detail in the images. There's my face that looks exactly like me, and you can see me here, so you know exactly what I look like. But then there's the graphics in the background that basically are exactly in line, and the text that's exactly in line with what the article's about. So could you imagine if you had an AI that can make your face look exactly like it looks here and not mess up your fingers, and then have all the text in the background be designed perfectly? So I have a picture of me writing on a whiteboard with the whiteboard is in front of my face and it's see-through on glass, and you see from the other side of the glass, and it shows the pain, the budget, the access, the speed of how to qualify a lead. And then I have another picture of me pointing to a smart screen with a bunch of different charts, and those charts are actually really good charts. It's not like a bunch of mumbo jumbo that you see when you go to ChatGPT or Midjourney, and everything is like all the words are mumbo jumboed in the chart. These are really, really good charts. And those charts really show how to create your ICP in a snapshot. Or you see me walking on a carpet, and you see me walking holding my phone, and you see the carpet itself, it looks like tiles. And in the tiles, all the things I spoke about in the articles are actually in the tiles with icons and words that are spelled correctly and accurately with graphs and so on. Or if you scroll down just a little bit lower, you see me holding a 90-day commitment plan, and the details of the plan are written in my hand. Think about that. And my face is right there, and I actually look really nice, and my beard is perfectly perfect. Unlike now, when my beard is a little scraggly, but I combed my beard and made it even nicer. And it looks like me. It smells like me. It tastes like me. And the one right before it, I created a bunch of nano banana prompts that you can copy, and you can paste them into Evi AI's side panel, and you can create an images that look exactly like you on a roof, in a chair, that you could use for your photos and so on. So yeah, it's really powerful to be able to use that, Sanjay.
Yeah, and if you guys decide to use AVI, please use the affiliate code in the comments.
Yeah, go ahead
I'm
and
not sure
use.
if or if it's in my post. Please make sure to use that. That
Yeah,
would be great.
if you reposted, make sure to drop it in your repost. If people are watching from your, because when you repost the post, it creates a new post.
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't think I put in. I was able to put in yours.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you can't put it in mine, then what you need to do is you need to go. So here's a hack. One of the 99 LinkedIn hacks. You have to go to my profile, click on see all posts, and then you can comment on my live if you're on the live. You can't comment on the live or even see the comments of the live unless you go to the actual person's profile, click on see all posts, and then sort the comments by most recent instead of most relevant, and you'll see the most
oh
recent
yeah, no.
post.
What I meant is, yeah, it was. And another thing too is, I think when I was trying to get in the live right now, I was getting dual microphones, and so I just stayed in this one too. So
You could always do it in a way where if you go to that page, if you go to linkedin.com/in/Joe Applebaum/recent activity/all, it's not going to give you double because it's not going to play it. And then you can see all the comments in there, and you can click from relevant to most recent, and you'll see Tammy just posted the thing. Lutz just said exactly. And then he shared a ChatGPT software requirements analyst, custom GPT or something. Tom wrote SRS. Nancy wrote 99, and everything else that you can see everything there. So I have a question for you guys. What is your goal with your business? What are you trying to achieve? You trying to get clients? You trying to get exposure? You trying to create opportunity? You trying to build community? Let me know in the chat. What is your number one goal with LinkedIn? What are you trying to achieve, or with AI? What are you trying to get out of AI? Let me
I
know
think
in.
I think so for some of the folks while we're waiting, especially for the new ones, it's like how do you get awareness and move beyond awareness, right? That's the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah, awareness and beyond awareness. That's key. So, what about for you? Like, what are you trying to achieve?
For myself at this point, for the podcast, I'm trying to at this point get sponsorships to fund and grow this. I have an amazing episode coming out today. We're actually they're talking about using human neurons for AI processing. Can you believe that? Human
Wow.
neurons for AI processing. It's going to be one of the most important episodes that I've covered.
I want to see that one. Where can people find out more?
It's at 10 a.m. today on the AI Space podcast on the YouTube
How do
channel.
how do people find what's the website for it?
I think I put in the private chat, but I'm not sure it's approved. I don't know. It didn't appear.
How do you I can put it I can have Tammy put it in the comments. How do you what is it? AISpacePodcast.com?
It said you. It's in
Do you
YouTube.
not did you not buy a domain?
Oh, I also have that, the aispace.com.ai. I have that too.
AISpace.com.ai?
I'm sorry, the AI Space Podcast.ai.
The AI Space Podcast.ai. The That's a long name. The AI Space. Okay, I found it. The AI Space
I
Podcast.
need to add
What's
the new episode on there
what?
after
Okay,
this.
because it's called the AI Space Podcast.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the AI Space Podcast.ai. Did the .com it wasn't available?
Well, I wanted the .ai.
Okay, what does the .com go to? Oh, it goes to the .ai. You re-forwarded it. You bought it.
Yeah. See, that's a little trick right there too.
Good job. Good job. That's really really cool. If you go to GoDaddy, just FYI, you can buy a .club domain for $5 and forward it. So you can do AI space .club, AI space .club for $5. You can buy AI space .club and you can then forward it. Oh, it looks like AI space. Oh, AI space .club is not available. AI
What
space
about the
.club is
AI
a
Space Podcast.club?
the AI space podcast .club. Let me see. Let me just see. Podcast. No, you can just buy AI podcast .club and then just forward it to the AI space podcast. So this way it's easy for people to remember. AI podcast .club is available. You can buy it. And and then you can create the AI podcast club.
Mm.
But or you could just write, let me see if AI
So
.club is
let's
available.
mention exposure. Nancy's looking for leads.
Okay, Nancy, you're looking for leads. Who's an ideal client for you? Nancy, who's an ideal client for you? If you're looking for leads, then definitely get that Substack article because it explains how to pick your ideal client. But if you're looking for leads, who's your ideal client? By the way, who's an ideal for the AI Space podcast?
Basically, founders, leaders, innovators that are growing businesses with AI and have real insights. You know.
Okay. Steve says, thanks for the invite. I need to jump to another call. Much appreciated, guys. Steve said.
Also on the AI Space Podcast.ai, I have a affiliate link or thing to Hostinger. Hostinger is pretty cheap.
Yeah, I paid like $40 for 5 years of like 200 WordPress websites or some ridiculous cheap price.
So if you go to my affiliate links, you can see a Hostinger
Oh,
of
that's a good one. Just to host a website.
yeah, you can do everything. Host your website, get the domain. You can buy domains from there. It's much cheaper, and I think when I was launching my website, I had it on GoDaddy, and then they were going to charge me $50 a month for my basic website, and I said,
Yeah.
then I went to Hostinger. It's way cheaper.
Wow. Wow. I'm just talking about buying the .club for $5. I don't think you can buy a domain for $5 anywhere, and they have a .club for $5. So that's why I would. And you get like a whole, you get like a whole free website generator with it, and a free website hosting with it, and everything. So that's what I built 99hacks.club on because it just cost me $5.
Yeah, basically Nancy's clients are people that are probably building their AI companies, doing AI modeling. They're on AWS, Azure, etc., and they have GPU needs. So they provide their costs are 2 to 3 less times less than like an AWS or Azure, basically. So people that actually want to save money and have better quality. That's a tough sell.
Yeah, 100%. Um, I actually built. Do you know what a custom GPT is?
Yeah, I use them. I have my own CMO. I have my own Stonehouse Advisor CMO and ChatGPT.
Do you know what type of do you know what I'm gonna build like probably like 100 custom GPTs for people. So if you search Evy AI in the GPT store right now, EVYAI, you'll see two custom GPTs. One of them, which is a topic generator. Another one that I'm building is a viral video script creator. So if you go in there and you give it any topic, like you can give it AI consulting or whatever, it'll make you 3 video scripts that you can read right now or you can paste into HeyGen, and it'll make you an incredible viral video with a hook, with just a ready to go video that is likely to go viral on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and so on. So if you want that custom GPT, just DM me, say send me the custom GPT. I'll be more than happy to send it to you. I use custom GPTs as lead magnets now, but they're really 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 good. So like the topic, the custom topic generator, you just put in any topic, like you'll write LinkedIn 101, and it'll give you 30 incredible topics in just literally 2 seconds. You'll have 30 incredible topics, and every one of those topics you can put into the viral video script generator, and it'll make you three separate topics, three separate scripts for each one. And you only have to read. You don't have to read it at all. You can just pop it into HeyGen. But if you did want to read it, you would only have to read the first line and the last line, and the rest is B-roll. So you only read the first line and the last line, and you can make the rest B-roll with your 11 Labs voice, and you're good to go.
Yeah, so for folks like that, Lutz are looking for exposure, right? They're trying to build out their business, right? So that would be a good angle to do that, to get that exposure, because you can have some very relevant topics and get it out quickly, right?
Well, this was a nice Q&A. I appreciate us getting together and doing this. Hopefully we answered some questions. Hopefully we got a little more exposure for the AI Space podcast. Guys, check out the AI Space podcast. Look up my episode. If you just Google the AI Space podcast, Joe Apfelbaum, you'll be able to find the AI Space podcast, Joe Applebaum, both on YouTube, and you'll be able to find it in our school community. If you just search AI Space Joe Applebaum, just the words AI Space Joe Applebaum in Google, you'll be able to find our school community. You'll be able to find the YouTube. You'll be able to find my post on LinkedIn that I posted about it. Um,
It's an amazing episode, guys. I mean, it has so many nuggets of wisdom. We have talked about. Joe asked, "What's in your tech stack?" We talk about his tech stack, my tech stack. We talk about all the different kind of tools out there. So definitely check
even
it
if
out.
even if you just search AI Space Joe, it'll come up on the first page of Google. Just the words AI Space Joe.
Wow, that
First
means
page.
that means the podcast is making progress and combine our combination. Wow, to be able to
I
do that.
wonder I wonder if that works for everybody listening to this right now. If you guys are listening to this right now, Tammy just put in a link in the comments with the Google search. Click on that link in the comments. What would you say? I don't hear you. I don't hear what you're saying. I think you're muted. Were you just talking to me with when you were doing the rabbit ears? Sanjay, were you just talking to me?
No,
Oh, you're talking to someone else?
no, I didn't see any rabbit ears. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you were going like this. I was looking somewhere. Maybe it's delayed. Anyway, Tammy just posted a link in the LinkedIn under this thing here. So guys, definitely check out that link and click on it, because that'll give you access to the AI Space podcast search on Google. So Nancy said she's looking for people with GPU needs. So this is what I would do. I would ask AI. I would ask Evie AI, who is an ideal target market that needs GPUs? What is the title? What is the type of company? And what are the filters I need to search in Sales Navigator in order for me to find those people? And it'll give you the exact Sales Navigator filters that you need. You put those filters in, and then you can use Evie AI to start commenting on their posts, sending messages to them, getting them on the phone, and then calling them. That is powerful.
That is worth its weight in gold, because I actually partner with somebody, and the messaging can go, but if you don't have your ICP, ideal customer profile, defined, you're wasting time, energy, and money. That is, I think that's use AI to develop your ICP and get those filters in place. It'll change things.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being in my life. Appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to chatting again very soon.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, all especially my contacts for showing up, and Joe's community for showing up too.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Boom.
Take care.